One's real quick, one's really pertinent to you, actually. Just out of curiosity, why is your shirt inside out?
Oh, I more often than not wear my shirts inside out. But
he wears them 2 days in a row, and this is the second day.
No.
Very efficient. Nice.
Well, I just wear them 2 days. If I was going to wear them 2 days in a row, both days inside out.
Ah. So it's not like underwear.
Okay, well.
No. Turn them inside out, get a second day of wear out. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, that has stuff written on the back. No, that doesn't make any sense.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, so I was actually, I think this is going to be the year that I come out to, like, my family. And, you know, I've been really studying and, you know, since I've come to the realization that I'm an atheist and that I don't believe in an imaginary figure anymore, I've gotten all these, you know, answers for myself. Mm-hmm. But what I was curious about was, what is the best way to go about it with my family? Because essentially, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was jumping on it. You were saying, so essentially.
Right. So they're going to be asking me, I can assume they're going to be asking me a bunch of questions from, you know, what if you're wrong? What if you burn in hell forever? Like, you know, whatever. And undoubtedly, I'm going to get a phone call eventually, probably at midnight, about Pascal's wager or, you know, something like that. And I can give them 1,000,001 reasons why they're wrong. Not 1,000,001, probably one or two good ones, you know, to get them to stop. But it doesn't matter how good those arguments are.
I think there's a problem with. Hey, I'm supposed to get ready to do a TV show. I think there's a problem with focusing on explaining why they're wrong, right, instead of getting them to explain why they're right, and then exposing why you don't accept that and why you're not convinced that they should.
I would also say one of the things that's important, particularly with people that are close to you, as far as having these discussions, because they get very personal and emotional very quickly, and that does not facilitate critical thinking or calm discussions or rational responses or all of the good things that could ever happen in a conversation. So as far as persuading them that, like, no, I don't have a reason to believe this and you haven't given me one, there's a lot of, I think there's an amount of literature on this. I know Greta Christina, I think, had a series of blog posts that she turned into a book about coming out atheist. And so I would almost, it's the sort of like ethos, pathos, logos, right? You have to get them to accept that, no, you're still you. You know, if you're trying to still, you know, focus on having a similar or the same relationship with your parents, and that might be the first step that I would approach. Eventually, you're going to get to the discussions about, like, no, the reason I don't believe this stuff is because I haven't been given a good reason to, and I'm waiting for one, and I still see you as, you know, my parents or whatever. I may be putting too much of my personal experience into that, but it's the only context that I can really understand, which is that I did the sort of gradual, you know, reveal, like, oh, I'm volunteering at the ACA. Oh, you know, or rather I said Free Thought Library first. I started by wearing this bracelet that you can buy if you come here for $1. They're great. Also, I think you might be able to order them online at Evolve Fish through the partner tab. But the point is, I did it gradually because, you know, in the past, I told them other things that they were shocked about in my life, and it didn't facilitate their understanding very well. And so I got, you know, being able to come out to someone in two different ways gave me experience as far as how to come out, at least to my parents. And so I would say that one of the things is it's going to be at least for me, very, very, very tempting to just be like, no, I don't believe. for reasons and not because I just decided to be rebellious.
Right.
And here's why. And your Bible has slavery and rape, and all of this is terrible. And you're giving money to an organization, and you can't figure out where it went at all because they either don't have to open their books, so they don't keep them, or whatever. Right? Like, that was very tempting for me, but I'm still trying to get them to, like, no, you know, gradually, I do this, it's because I care about this, and I care about this because there isn't a good reason to believe. And so I feel like there's a difference between, you know, street epistemology and finding a stranger and trying to tell your parents, and that's that you have that previous relationship.
I've been recommending that too. Kind of be yourself and then just start responding to questions. And also, I know Greta Christina has made this point before, but it really hit home with me recently. And that is that this coming out thing is a process, and it's something that gets repeated because you're going to constantly be coming out to people. It's just maybe not people who are that close to you. A couple months ago, there's an aunt of mine, an aunt for those people who prefer that, who I hadn't seen really in years, and she was well aware that I was doing the TV show and, you know, I'm an atheist and all this other stuff. But we'd never had a conversation, and so we were out sitting outside, and we had a very kind of brief conversation, and she said something. She said, "So you don't believe in God at all?" And I was like, "That's right." And she goes, I don't believe that." And there's a part of me, instantly from the show and everything else, that wants to say, "Oh, so you think I'm lying? You think I'm just faking this? I'm just what you know?" Yeah. And I held back on that, and I was like, I don't know what to tell you. It's the truth. I don't, you know, I understand that it may be difficult to understand why. We can have a conversation, but I'm not, you know, faking my disbelief. Yeah. And I'm definitely easier on, you know, my mom when we have conversations than I am. Like I was saying earlier in the show, I care most about me and then people around spreading out. So I think probably I have conversations in that way as well, where if there's somebody that, if a caller said, "I don't believe that you're an atheist," I would have immediately gone down the, "Oh, so you think I'm lying" route? I'm just making this up?
Yeah.
I'm doing this to, I don't know, get internet famous in a small segment of the population.
It's for all the rock star style parties that atheists have.
Yeah. There's actually a website where you can go look up people's net worth, and they have mine listed. Except that I have $100 and some odd million in a private jet and a private yacht. And it was funny because Dawkins and I were talking at an event we did, and his name is up there listed with his net worth. And while the net worth they list for him is outrageous, is more than what he's actually worth, it was less than what I was worth, which I pointed out is exactly why we know websites like that can't be trusted.
Yeah. That, and if you've ever seen a bad Christian movie, they have the world's top atheist, and they go around to, like, drug-fueled raves, and they're the biggest celebrity in the world, and there's giant, like, arenas full of screaming fans. You know, which...
Yeah, where are those parties at?
Yeah, I know. Where's my invite, really?
Yeah, I mean, I had myself, Richard Dawkins, and Sam Harris, so I'm the goober on stage with the two super names, and we're selling out 3,700 seat theaters, which is big and it's nice and it's an awesome interaction. But we're not selling out arenas. And none of them on their own or even a conglomerate is necessarily going to sell out an arena anytime soon. I think maybe if you got Dawkins, Harris, Krauss, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye, and then like a real celebrity who happens to be an atheist.
Yeah, you could get a
then maybe
Knightley
you could sell out an arena.
Yeah. Something.
You know, they get Ricky Gervais or...
Oh, yeah, or you could have Seth MacFarlane. Now we're just naming people, whatever. But yeah, we've gone down a huge rabbit hole.
This is way off base, and and I apologize. I don't have any other way to say this, but I kind of have to wrap it up because I have a friend in surgery who's called twice. So I want to double check and make sure everything's fine. But we
appreciate your time.
We really appreciate it, Aaron. Thanks so much, and thanks to everybody who called for making my my first guest spot on Talk Heathen awesome.
Yeah. Well, you had something to do with that as well. But
I just talk.
Heathen. All right, Aaron. The same to you as to everyone else. Reach out, Facebook, Tweetbook, email, etc. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you for accepting my call.
Yeah, anytime. All right, you have a good one.